Hey, it's
Hello.
the Griggsly Bears. We'll figure out this intro. So far, we're 12 minutes into doing this, so bear with us as we learn. I'm Drew,
I'm Grace.
and we are the Griggsly Bears.
Griggsly
That would be good.
Bears.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho, video one was the intro. We just uploaded that. This one we're starting to reference is about Albuquerque, New Mexico. So again, short and sweet. We don't want these to be too long. I get long-winded when I get excited about stories, but
We'll rein him in.
yes, this is what she's here for, is to be the governor. So we went to Albuquerque this past week, Monday through Saturday. We're going to tell you a little bit about that bit by bit, so that way you can kind of build a trip off of this similarly. The good, the bad, the ugly, we'll tell you all about it. And then hopefully you can mirror it, because we do recommend Albuquerque's a thumbs up. Go.
Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. 4 total. Go see it. We can go wake Bo up, who's our little guy, and it would be 6 thumbs up, because he wasn't there, but he would agree with the pictures. It was great. So, first things first. Overall, we give it a, let's do a stars thing per trip.
Wow.
We're making this up as we go.
Okay.
I
How
see.
many stars?
4. I think 5 is like life changing.
Oh.
4 is like really
Okay.
good.
Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Okay.
Not out of 10. Oh gosh. Okay, I give Albuquerque 4 stars. What do you give Albuquerque?
I agree. 4 stars.
There we go. Look at that, folks. We're getting married in 2 months, already agreeing on things. So, first things first is getting there. We'll do a separate video on booking flights and using points for flights and all that. I don't want to do that on this one. It would take too long. But just getting there. So, first things first, we live in Louisville, so we flew out of there. Flew Delta, I guess. And one thing you'll figure out with plane rides is there's crappy times that are cheap, and there's good times that are a little bit more expensive. I personally want the cheapest possible, but I'm also not going to go on some stupid, ridiculous flight that leaves at 9 p.m. and gets there the next morning at 7 a.m. and you're exhausted and it takes 2 days to recover from that. Anyways, we flew in afternoon on Monday with
Left
the time.
At like 4 maybe?
Yeah, left at 4 with the time change. Got in like bedtime-ish, basically, 9, 10 o'clock. And then flew Delta, which is what we use for our credit card to max out those points as much as we can. And the only other technical thing is rental car. I will tell you right now, rental cars are expensive. This is October of 2021 when we're doing this right now. And so we went through Enterprise and Hertz and all that. We ended up going through Turo. Again, we'll do a separate video on some rental car options. But we found a Dodge Challenger on Turo is fantastic. We can include links of all that stuff on here, so you can find Veronica's Challenger a little bit easier, because it was a good car. It's not something I'd want to own, because we
peeled out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit too much horsepower for us. But really, really great car. And then last but not least, the place we stayed, and then I'll let you talk about some stories. We stayed north of Albuquerque in the Santa Ana.
Santa Ana Star, yeah.
Santa Ana Star Casino and Hotel. I think it's like a $200-something a night hotel normally. We were with a group, so it ended up being a little bit under $200 for group discount. But I think you're looking at $200-something a night. And I'd say it was nice. I mean, you could probably find, if you wanted to find some way to save money, you don't have to stay in that spot. It was, I think we could easily have found a different place. But again, it was with a group, so it worked out for us. The casino's great, low minimums on the tables, and the hotel was nice and really easy to get to. So anyways, a couple of technical things. Santa Ana Star Casino and Hotel, north of Albuquerque, 30 minutes from the airport. Turo for car, and then we flew Delta out there and back as well.
Yeah. Only thing I would say about the hotel was not super, like, not within walking distance of, if you're looking for a downtown walkability, that's not your place. You definitely need a rental car in that area.
Sure. And we can actually do that on the rental car video, like when to rent, when not, because like in Albuquerque you need a rental car.
Yes.
Like when you're doing raid shift. Yeah. No matter where you're staying, you don't want a Uber or Lyft around.
Yes.
You need a rental car. But yeah, what she was saying, the hotel is definitely not central to downtown life or anything, pretty much at all. So yeah.
So day one, we had some free time, and so we went to Sandia Peak. Is that what it's called?
Yes, yeah.
So we tend to be more kind of adventuresome, I would say. Didn't really pack for hiking on this trip. Honestly, we were naive and didn't really realize that was going to be an option, but 10 out of 10 recommend. If you go to Albuquerque, there's a little tram that takes you from the bottom of the mountain up to the top. They say there's a hiking option as well, but from the look test, I would say you need an entire day, sun up to sundown, to even try to attempt a one-way hike on that. So, but riding the tram was great. Got up to the top. We were able to hike around at the top, which is fantastic. Probably did about 4 miles, would you say? Just kind of light hiking in tennis shoes and sweats and things like that, which was great. Like 10,500 feet up there. The altitude was getting to us a little bit.
Yeah, she's being generous to me saying getting to us. I was struggling. I had a headache and dizzy and all that. So bring some hiking gear if you go to Albuquerque. Just hiking shoes and whatever, not like rappelling stuff. But you can go over to where the tram is, which is at 8,000 feet, and take it up to 10.5. And then I think we hiked up to 11 actually. A little bit over 11, but easy, very, very, very manageable 2 mile hike. We just did the round loop, but the altitude thing, I usually chug about 1.5 gallons of water every day. I did not have a lot of water that day, so drink a lot of water. And what was the other advice to help with that? I guess wait, but we weren't going to do that anyway.
Yeah, just time. Yeah, ease into it.
Yeah,
not our style.
Yeah, everybody was saying ease into going hiking, but that's not really what we do. So. But yeah, like she was saying, we did not plan. So this is the point of this video, is to help you plan. We just showed up. I had CrossFit weightlifting shoes on. She had tennis shoes that she uses to walk the dog because they have no grip on them whatsoever. And we went hiking up a mountain. But
it was worth it.
It was so worth it. Definitely do it.
Yep.
The views are amazing. And then quick life hack on it was if you go to Albuquerque and it's busy and the tram tickets are booked up, the round trip tickets are booked up because they don't sell a lot of those. You can buy 2 one-way tickets, which was the dumbest thing ever. So we just bought 4 one-way tickets because the entire week was booked, couldn't do the tram ride, and it was no problem whatsoever. So feel comfortable buying the one-ways. If the 2-ways are booked up, you got to pay $7 extra or something. It's not a big deal. But the views were unbelievable.
Yes. And there were plenty of little kids, like, all ages up there. So not just an experienced hiker thing by any means.
Yeah. I mean, the thought of Bo being up there, Bo's 3.5. The thought of him being up there, like, stresses me out a little bit.
Right, no
there's
rails
cliffs
or
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so keep him close, maybe on one of those leash things everybody kind of makes fun of, but secretly kind of wants to. Honestly, I was getting a little bit stressed looking at the kids running around because there's cliffs, like, right there they can run off of. But Sandia Peak is 100% a must.
Other hack though. So if you can't ride the tram up, there is a way to drive up to the top.
That's true.
Which we saw a lot of people doing. So if the tram isn't an option, I would still say drive up there and see it because it's worth it.
Yeah, just drive around the backside of the mountain and you'll come up to the main peak, and then you can still go hike around. The views are unbelievable. The hiking's fun. It was really great. So probably other than the thing we'll talk about in a little bit, spoiler, the best part of the trip, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
You skipped over what we did before the tram, though.
The breakfast?
Uh-huh.
Hannah and Nate's is a 10 out of 10 breakfast spot. Little, what are those houses? Adobe style.
Everything's Adobe.
Adobe style in Albuquerque.
If you don't like brownish, tannish, reddish,
it all blends into the
that's
desert.
That's everything in Albuquerque, so don't go there if you don't like that color. But
still go, even if you don't like the color.
So speaking of hacks, so if you ever are in somewhere if you're ever in an area where you don't know the ways to go back roads, when you're on Google Maps, type in walking. So like search where you want to go, then click walking. It'll say it's going to take 2 days and 3 hours to get there or whatever, but obviously it's not true. You'll be in your car. But it defaults to it won't take you on the interstate. So that way you're not bypassing all the really cool things, because we drove through like right next to an Indian reservation, right by the Calabres, whatever that neighborhood's called, where it was like the super, super nice houses in Albuquerque. Anyways, it was really great. And that's where we stumbled across a little like apple and chili and pumpkin
orchard
place.
of sorts store. Yeah.
Had the best
Honeycrisp apple I've ever had in my life.
It was unbelievable. So that was pretty cool. And it's just something you're not going to find if you Google Maps the traditional way and go straight to the tram, which is where we were headed. We chose walking, and so we went driving through all these back roads. And it'll even take you through Walmart parking lots and stuff. It's very weird directions when you do that, but it's really cool because it takes you to places you wouldn't have seen. And so that's when we came across Hannah and Nate's little breakfast and lunch spot. Freaking delicious breakfast tacos.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. If you don't like rice, beans, chilies, if you don't like
spice. It got some spice.
If you don't like spicy like Mexican / Southwest food, also may not love Albuquerque. But most people I know like that stuff. So that was day one. Oh yeah, we went to Sadie's for dinner. Right? That was Tuesday. Yeah.
That was Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, so again, send you a peek. I don't want to skim over that. It was unbelievable. And if you're into parasailing and hang gliding, you probably already know about the place because apparently it's like a destination for that. That terrifies me, but more power to you. So we went to Sadie's that night. I'd say it was like a pretty good spot. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't a must-do in Albuquerque,
definitely not a must-attend. But we also had it was a group dinner, so it could have been because we were eating
it was a buffet style
at a buffet thing, as opposed to individual meal orders.
Yeah.
So we'll give Sadie's a go ahead and try it because we really didn't give it a fair shot, and apparently it's like a famous restaurant in the area. So
yeah.
If you go to Topgolf, make a reservation. They were all booked up. We tried to go there. There's a Topgolf in Albuquerque. You don't need to bring your own clubs. They've got their own for you. And then the next day we went to that one place, place for dinner at the country club. I don't know what it's called. So
Wednesday he was in meetings all day. I explored Albuquerque. I got to go downtown to Old Town, which was really cool. Just kind of parked on a side street and walked through and saw the shops. I got there at about 9 o'clock and there were very few shops open. So I would say maybe try to time it a little bit later in the day, just because I was kind of there as people were setting up and felt like a little too early. But it was cool to see. Really cute little quaint old downtown area. All of the touristy type shops, but also some cool homemade jewelry and, things like that were cool.
I was sitting in work all day, so I don't know anything about those cool things.
Yeah.
She went without me, so it was fine. I don't even remember where we went Wednesday. It was like a country club. What's that place called? I don't know. We'll put it in the notes. I'm just going to keep saying that. Hopefully one of us.
Some research to do.
Yeah. We're learning and we'll write these things down for the next video. So went to this like country club restaurant. But I will say whatever it is, we'll get it and recommend it because we were part of a group meal of it, but they had this separate section of seating out on this patio that was beautiful, lit up by some, little Christmassy lights. And then on the golf course, you were looking at the mountains as the sun set. It was beautiful. So I think it's like Prairie Star off the top of my head. Anyways, we'll get that put in there as well. Really, really great. We didn't pay for it as individuals would, so I don't know what it costs, but I assume it's pricier than most places. So,
yeah.
If you're looking for a more budget-friendly meal, probably want to skip that one. The next morning, this is where the story gets fun. I know we're 14 minutes into this, and we're just now getting to the good stuff.
And we use the term morning very loosely.
Yes. Some would call it nighttime. Put it this way. This is how early in the morning. The casino closed when we woke up. So that's how early in the morning we had to get up. So the whole deal about Albuquerque, make sure you go during the Hot Air Balloon Fiesta. I don't honestly know. I would say we could go back to go do some hiking. But I'd
go during the fiesta. There's going to be more crowds, but it's worth it.
Yes, unbelievable. Flights are more, hotels are more, everything's more, but you get to go to the Hot Air Balloon Fiesta. The reason to go to Albuquerque is to go to the Hot Air Balloon Fiesta, period. It's unbelievable. So the entire time leading up to it, we were trying to work out a deal to get on a hot air balloon because it's on both of our bucket lists. Some things fell through, so we were told on Monday, aka the day we were getting there, that we were not going to be able to ride in a hot air balloon. I was pretty upset about it. But the one way you guarantee that we will do something is by telling us we can't do it. So we went to work on the internet trying to figure out how to make this happen. Found out there is through some phone calls, there is a waiting list, like a standby list, I guess they called it, through Rainbow Riders. And you have to arrive at 4:30 in the morning to their tent. Okay, so 30-minute drive from the hotel. That means you have to leave at 4. If y'all are doing quick math, that means you have to wake up at 3:30. It was a problem. It was awful. Oh, by the way, I had to be at their tent at 4:30. You have to do a 30-minute walk. So really you had to leave at 3:30 and wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was horrible. But well worth it. I still say well worth it even at 3 o'clock wake up. Yes. So, yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. Didn't know where we were going, but we kind of sort of figured it out, except for we didn't make it.
We didn't make it. Buy your tickets ahead of time.
Yes.
We were very naive. Didn't know we had to buy tickets, so we had to. That was a holdup. Hack though.
Buy your tickets to the
event itself.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yes. To get into the actual
the gate
event, which is they're like $15 a piece. It's kind of like a fair ticket, if you will, but. Definitely buy that ahead of time. Otherwise, you got to add that to your things to do in the morning.
Yes. In Hack, we parked at the gift shop.
Yeah. The Balloon Fiesta Museum and gift shop.
Yes.
Yeah, free parking if you get there early enough.
Free parking literally across the street, and everywhere else is $20 a car. We got free if you're there early enough. A little bit longer of a walk, but not even really compared to some of the spots.
It's like 50 yards longer than the $20 parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was well worth it. So we went to the standby list at Rainbow because we did not have tickets. So if you're booking this trip for next year's Balloon Fiesta, then just get tickets the regular way through Rainbow Riders. They're $500 a pop, and I know it's expensive, but I would do it. So we go to the standby. You put us on a list, write down our phone number, and we missed the list. Some 5 or 6 families got to go, but we were not part of that list. So we were like, well, daggone, we got here at 4:30 in the morning for nothing. Well, about 5:30 or 6 before sunrise, like 5 or 6 balloons out in the middle of the field start lighting up their flames and start slowly coming to life. And it was freaking awesome.
It was unbelievable. That alone made getting up early worth it. Seeing those balloons light up in the pitch black, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, so there's probably, I don't know how many thousands of people there at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
I don't do estimations.
Yeah, there was thousands of people. We won't say hundreds of thousands. That was maybe Thursday night. But there was thousands of people there at 5 o'clock in the morning. We're talking kids and families and all this stuff. And we were kind of like, what the crap? This is a little intense.
And it's cold.
Yes, it's cold. I don't care what the forecast high is.
The desert
Look at the low. It's that cold or colder.
Yeah.
It's like the low is like 50-something every day we were there. I don't know what the desert temperature deal is, but 50 equals 35. I mean,
you had at least 4 layers on each. Like we were bundled, and still cold.
I had a short sleeve shirt, long sleeve shirt, and jacket that first day, and I was struggling.
Yeah,
we had to go. We went to Cabela's and shopped right after this is over. So understand. So really cold. So 1, get there early enough so you can park at the museum because it's free. 2, make sure you go during that time and dress warmly and in layers because it also gets hot when the sun comes up.
And pro tip, you can also bring food in because it's a lot of fair food there. We packed a backpack, brought all of food, drink, everything we wanted.
Yeah, no clear bag rules or whatever, just regular bags are allowed. So that's parts of the night, so you're not having to eat corn dogs for breakfast at 5 a.m. Unless that's your thing, then that's fine. So we watched the first 5 balloons go up. Grace and I stared at each other and laughing how crazy this was. People are cheering, going nuts. Unbelievable. Please get there early enough to watch that. Do not sleep in to get there at 7. Get there, watch pitch black dark, 5 a.m. I'd say is the latest, maybe 5:30 or something. Yeah. Especially with the parking and all that. It's worth it to get there by 5.
Yep. Then gradually, as the sun rises, as the morning goes on, all these balloons start blowing up and inflating, and then suddenly you're surrounded by an entire field. Mm-hmm. There's over 500 balloons there, lighting up one at a time. It's unbelievable. And it's just, everybody's excited and clapping every time a new one comes up. It's just really, really cool.
It was insane. first off was a hair scary. There's ropes everywhere, people yelling, and there's what they call the zebras, which are like referees blowing their whistles, and then there's flames, and you can feel the warmth. You kind of want to go near them because you're cold, but also it seems scary. I don't understand how there's not more issues because the balloons are touching as they go up in the air. Anyways, it was insane. You can go to our blog, which we'll put in the comments, and we'll upload some pictures. But honestly, the pictures won't even halfway do it justice. It's unbelievable. Really, really, truly cool to watch all these things go up at the same time. It just feels physically impossible for it to work, but it does. But yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
The whole morning. I can't think of anything else on that.
Yeah. Where'd we eat after that?
So we went to Jimmy's Cafe.
Jimmy something's Cafe.
Yeah, so we had to kill time till Cabela's opened. Because again, what she was saying earlier about shops, nothing opens early. I don't know if it's Fiesta week or if it's always, but it was kind of aggravating because we needed to get that done before I had to get back to work. So we went to Jimmy's Cafe, or
we'll put it in the notes.
Yeah, we'll find out the night and put it in the notes. And it beat Hannah and Nate's for me.
It was really good. I was going to say, I think what we got there, it was like traditional. Yeah. It was the server's favorite. Yeah. It was. We
didn't even talk about that. So one thing you'll learn from these videos is I have pet peeves about crappy restaurant service.
Any service, really.
Well, anything. But restaurants, I have some really, really sore spots that can get aggravated. Anyways, Hannah and Nate's service was unbelievable. I think we had 46 coffee refills. They didn't leave our side. They were great. And then when we went to Jimmy's Cafe, they were perfect and amazing too. We tipped way above normal at both of those spots because they were fantastic. So kudos to both of those spots for great service. That may have been why we love the food so much, because that always helps.
Yeah, they gave great recommendations. We took their advice, got the enchiladas. They were fantastic.
Yeah, breakfast enchiladas, get that. You don't need the pancake. It's huge and too much. But the breakfast enchiladas.
Silver dollar pancakes are on the menu.
Yeah,
we should
just go that route. We made a mistake. So don't pull a Griggsly bear and get too much food that you can handle in the morning. Yeah, Jimmy's Cafe is a must go. Go there for breakfast or brunch or lunch or whatever. Really, really good. And I guess that. Oh yeah, the glow was the next adventure.
We did that night. Yeah.
Yeah. Thursday night is what's called the glow. So first off, Balloon Fiesta terminology. There's all kinds of weird things. Mass Ascension is not a Catholic tradition at a parish called Ascension. We thought we were going to sleep in. We were with a State Farm group, and we thought we were going to sleep in and let everybody go to that Catholic thing. No offense to anything Catholic, we're just not. So we thought, they can go do that. We'll sleep in. We found out it was the Mass Ascension was the name of all those balloons. The masses ascending. We learned. That's on me. Secondly, there's a thing called the Special Shapes Glow, which is not very clear to me what that is. If you don't know what this stuff is, that is awesome. That is where all the special shaped balloons, because not all hot air balloons are round. They're like crazy shapes, like dinosaurs and dragons and alligators.
And Humpty Dumpty.
And Humpty Dumpty upside down. And they all light up. They don't go up in the air because it's too dark and they get lost, I guess. But right when sun's setting, they'll do a glow. What they do is they do a synchronized light up of their flames in the balloon, which lights them up at night. Really, really cool to see. Probably 10 times as many people as that at that.
It was packed.
Yeah.
Packed.
Honestly, a hair uncomfortable, so packed. Yeah. That'd be the only knock I have on it at all, is that it was slammed.
And we got there early too. I mean, we were there right at sunset.
Yeah.
When we were leaving, most people were still coming against traffic. So
yeah, it was pretty wild. I would say if you have kiddos there, like either put them on the leashy thing, just like we were talking about with Sandia Peak, or have them sit in like a carrier or something. Like I the whole time was having stress. Bo wasn't even there with us, and I was stressing thinking about it. Bo was here because if your kid runs off, I have no clue how you could find him in that crowd. I mean, it was so many people. That one I can comfortably say 100,000 people were there. I mean, that was insane. So again, numbers.
I don't do estimations.
But go see it. Go to the glow.
That was a quick trip, though.
Yeah.
We were probably there for like 30 minutes, and you know, they do a countdown. They'll start counting down from 10, and then all of them will light up.
Yep.
And we watched that for several cycles. And
after watching like a mini version of that morning in the dark, and then they actually take off, watching 200 of them do it was really cool. But like you saw it twice, and you kind of were like, okay, I can leave now. So I don't know how to save money on that one, because you still got to pay to get into that. You still got to pay for parking because there's no free place to get there. So, but I still would do it. Honestly, I would, just to watch all of them light up.
Yeah, and some nights they have a fireworks show. We didn't see that, but we did see hang gliders lighting off fireworks as we were leaving, which was kind of cool. But think about it.
It also is probably a problem that we woke up at 3 that morning, so we're probably a hair grumpy and wanted to get back to bed. So, because we went and grabbed Restoration Pizza, which I would give a thumbs up to.
Yes.
Go to Restoration Pizza. They got a great mission.
It's close to the Balloon Glow.
Very close.
Yes.
Great mission. Go support their mission, and I'd say good pizza.
Yeah.
Not great life-changing pizza, because my standards are higher, but it's good. Really good pizza. Grand finale. So we're at Cabela's, and we're leaving Cabela's, buying our stuff, because we're going to go back the next morning to
get there earlier.
We're going to get there earlier, and we're going to like push people out of the way if we need to get on standby this time. We're getting on a freaking hot air balloon. That was the plan.
We're not going to be mean.
That was the plan. And Grace's phone rings. Okay. When you're writing down the number with Rainbow Riders, put a number down of a person who answers phone calls. Because Grace says, Phoenix, Arizona is calling me. Should I answer it? And I said,
yes.
Just like that. Very, very affirmatively. Like, yes. Like, we're on the west side of the country. Like, obviously, there could be...
Everybody knows Phoenix does a lot of spam calls.
Just answer.
No offense.
Actually, here's a new rule. If you want to change your life for the positive, answer every phone call you ever get. It's either entertaining or it could be a free cruise trip. All you got to do is send your social and bank account number. Like, those are good deals. So, anyways, that one's a joke for anybody who's actually taking it seriously. So we get this phone call. She answers it just in the nick of time. And it is Rainbow Riders telling us that we are on the list to go Friday morning on the hot air balloons. We were pretty pumped.
Yeah, very exciting.
So, new plan. No longer have to get there at 3:30 or 4 and fight off people in line. Now we have tickets. Like, it's the real deal. So, bought our tickets on the phone with that lady. We're all jazzed. Had a great night that night. Went to sleep really early and woke up fired up about the opportunity to check an item off our bucket list. We go, and we are in a basket. We are 32 and 33 years old. I'll let you figure out who's 32, who's 33. If you take us out as outliers, the average age in the basket...
88.
Wow. I was going to be nice, say like 80. She's going, all right. She may be right. I don't know. She works with elderly people more than I do. It was high.
It was very high.
I thought maybe we missed the AARP, like,
it was
basket sign up or something. I mean, it was
a group on a tour bus that they arranged it as a group. There was 9 of them.
Yes.
And us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even count the other guy. Yeah. I mean, he was up there too, Colorado.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they tell us, like, hey, I mean, we're about to fast forward the story because we could go all day on this. First off, you go out there and the hot air balloon's laying flat on the ground. You put some fans and just blow air into it. The basket's on its side. I'll let you tell this.
No, you got this. You got this.
I tell it in a more aggravated way than she does because she's too sweet. So the people setting us up, there's 3 Canadians getting us set up. The pilot's Canadian, his 2 chaser crew, the chasers, because they actually chase the balloons. That's what they're called. They say, hey, if you have physical limitations, you need to get in the basket while it's lying down inside. And then this one guy, Ed, says, I'm hamstrung.
Don't use names.
That's first name only. Ed, all the Eds out there, I'm sorry. I'm not using his last name. I don't know Ed. Probably Longdale or something. Anyways, Ed says he's hamstrung. And then 2 or 3 other people say, yeah, we struggle too. I'm more like, So anyways, they start spreading out, and Grace and I are doing quick math and realizing nobody's leaving space for us two to sit next to each other, and that was getting frustrating. Even better, though, so the basket's on its side. Okay, so let's understand physics. Bottom of basket, it's going to tip like this. Bottom. I know this is hard to do with this video here. These people are jumping in head first.
Head first into the bottom of the
Head
basket.
first into the bottom. So when it comes up, they're going to be doing a headstand. And Grace and I are cracking up, trying not to laugh too loudly. And anyway, I was also in charge of fan duty, so it was a pretty big role. Pilot personally chose me.
They asked for volunteers, and his hand shot up.
Okay, I volunteered. So, yeah, and that was a debacle.
It was. Drew had to get them rearranged, say, ma'am, you're going to have to put your feet down so that you're going to stand up.
It was her third time in a hot air balloon, and she was thinking that was okay, so I don't understand what happened there. But apparently it was her third time, whatever. I don't know if I believe it after watching that. But anyways, we get them all straightened out. They're standing upright, except for on their backs. They're kind of laying down. It was kind of hilarious to watch. But bottom line, why I'm bringing this up is if you have like serious physical limitations, it actually you can still do a hot air balloon ride, and I still would, but you may have to go through some hoops and challenges. That's all.
The mounting and dismounting is a challenge.
Yeah.
I would say getting out was even harder for them than getting in, because when you land, the thing never lays back down. It's standing up the whole time, and you're going to have to get out on your own one way or the other. Yeah,
ours was a 13-person one, 12 passengers and one pilot, and it was small.
It was
holes.
tight.
Yeah.
I was with two of the smallest little ladies,
yeah,
and we were tight in that little basket. So,
yeah, it was. It's
tight.
weird. So just as a heads up, you're going to be snug up against somebody most likely, depending on your setup. Yeah, they light the flame, get the sucker up in the air. We have balloons like pushing up against us all over. It was craziness. There's times I was kind of getting unconfident in like what was happening. I don't know. It just is very nerve wracking when you're about to get in this wicker basket attached to a flamethrower, attached to flammable fabric floating in the air. Like that, the concept's pretty scary.
Yeah, but it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. Started rising up. Everybody on the belows like waving, and it was just really, really cool. Mm-hmm. You're looking down at hundreds of balloons below you, and like all around there's balloons. Yeah, really, really cool. We did what's it called? We did a little touchdown in the Rio Grande.
Oh, splash and dash.
The splash and dash.
Yeah, so we go up to 750, 800 feet. That's another story by itself. Go over the Rio Grande, which is more like Rio Pequeno.
It's very small.
Very, very small. And we come back. Who knew you could steer hot air balloons? He could. That blew my mind. And we did a splash and dash into the Rio Grande. First off, we ran over like 5 trees. So sorry for the damage to those aspens. But that was kind of weird feeling. Yeah. And then we splashed into the Rio Grande and took back off. So that was really, really cool, actually.
It was really cool.
That whole little part where we run into the bushes, and he just was totally chill about it.
Yeah, there were other balloons doing the same thing in the river, so we were having to dodge them.
Yeah, we're like bumping into balloons. That's apparently okay. All that was just crazy and weird, and you're like 1,000 feet in the air. It's perfectly quiet. It's really nerve-wracking, but like peaceful. The views were unbelievable. The pictures we have are the best pictures I've ever seen on a person taking, and they still don't even halfway do it justice. Yeah, so then we splashed down the river.
Yeah.
Then we went and rode. Oh, tell them about the neighborhoods and like.
Yeah, I mean, just so we landed in Corrales. Mm-hmm. We landed exactly where the pilot said we were going to land from the beginning. Which
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable. Landed in a little cul-de-sac there, and then...
Cul-de-sac? D-E? I always want to call it cul-de-sac.
No, D-E.
Cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac. But also, when you have a 2-person balloon crew and a 12-person balloon, and you're two able-bodied, strong people like we are. We were on balloon catching duty / we landed this sucker in the middle of tumbleweeds and cacti, and then we have to pull this thing out into the middle of the road loaded with 11 people on there.
Yeah.
And so,
it was not. I don't know why they weren't thinking. This is a operation. They do this for a living, and they weren't thinking about this. One, there's balloons landing all over people's backyards and driveways and on highways, which is insane to me. Actually, Tuesday morning, a lady said she and her son were late to school because a balloon was blocking the road. And we were like, oh, I guess we thought oh, that's an accident. That's bad. No, that's just part of it.
Anything's fair game. You can land wherever you find a spot. Just go for it.
And you're floating so slow down. There's this one guy floating by us after we landed. He goes, hey, to the neighbor. They're like, can I use your backyard? And I was like, yeah. And we're just like, this is the craziest thing. So that part's really cool, how the whole community is good with it and they get on board. It's kind of
they wave and cheer you on, and it's really cool.
It is very neat. So we we were aiming for a cul-de-sac. We land 5 feet from a gas meter, first off.
We did a bunny hop over so we wouldn't take it out.
Literally bounced over one. I don't know how the pilot controlled that, but couldn't handle, getting 5 feet to the left on the asphalt if he can hop over a gas meter. But anyways, and he asked us to get out to push with the crew. And so, Grace is holding onto this rope, getting slung up in the air by this balloon. I'm pushing the basket with all my might on the other side because we have to get out in the street so we can tip it over and get the balloon down and all this stuff. But anyways, it was kind of cool to be a part of the crew.
It was.
And help out. We were needed.
Yeah. We got it loaded up. We got the whole balloon into the canvas bag. We got the basket on the trailer, the whole deal. Rode back in our van. They took us back to where we started.
A little champagne celebration. And you get a pin and a plaque and all that kind of stuff if you're into that thing. Yes. Bottom line, it was $1,000. Okay. So let's talk money real quick on the trip. I will say the Albuquerque trip mixed with that balloon fiesta, mixed with riding on a balloon, was not the cheapest vacation we've done. Actually, I would argue maybe the most expensive trip she and I've done. Still say worth doing it, but $1,000 for the balloon rides for two of us, $500 a person, was a lot. I still say worth it. I still say if you've got that money to pull that off, do it, because we laughed in disbelief at our life probably 36 times on that trip. I mean, it just was one of those cool things. I was laughing and talking to God about this is insanity. I couldn't believe it. So do that. Go to the fiesta, spend the money for that. If you want to find some savings, find it on that hotel situation. Because we just went where the group was going. And then I'm sure we could have saved some money on a flight too, but I was, being picky on timing and all that stuff and trying to stay loyal to Delta on that. I'm sure we could have saved a little bit of money. But anyways, if you're looking for savings, save it in those areas. Don't save it in the area of Balloon Fiesta stuff. Spend it there because it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So, and we stayed at a casino, and I gambled no money, all so we could save the money for the fiesta. Almost no money. I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Better than my normal. So, and Saturday we flew out, and Friday we go to Santa Fe. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we might need to make that its own, not enough. You're looking at me like that's a terrible idea.
Well, I don't, there wasn't much to talk about really.
There's not. You're right.
What did you want to talk about?
Nothing.
I mean, what's the difference in 38 minutes and 42 minutes? I mean, I might as well go all out, This is already the longest YouTube video in the history of mankind. Nobody's going to listen to this. If anybody makes it to 38 minutes and listens to this part right now, I'll be so impressed. All right.
Let us know if you're at 38 minutes.
Yes, if you're at 38, comment, because we want to know, because I don't want to win that big, because ain't nobody making it 38 minutes. So, we drove to Santa Fe Friday after I was done working. Again, after the balloon ride, that's all I can think about all day. Drove there, really cool little shops. If you've got lots of money and you want to buy some really cool artwork, unbelievable place there. We chose balloon rides instead of really fine art. So, unbelievable places. This one place, what was it called again? Crap. We got to get this down.
Yeah. The place we ate, the rooftop?
Yeah.
I think the hotel, is La Fanta, and we ate at the rooftop.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that's called.
We'll put that in the notes. we're learning here, people. Just bear with us. Again, 39 minutes. I'm not nervous anymore. The La Fonta or something like that, we'll put it in the notes. It's this rooftop patio. You're 3 or 4 stories up, 5 stories up. You're overlooking the little downtown area. You're overlooking the mountains and the desert as the sun sets. Highly recommend going up there. That was really cool.
Downtown Santa Fe is cool. It's definitely like Old Town, New Mexico feel. It's cool to see.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's worth a drive over. I mean, honestly, the drive, no traffic, was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, we were on the north side of Albuquerque, so it was only 45. If you're downtown, it'll be an hour.
There's a train that goes between the two.
Yeah, that's true. That would have been neat.
But I think limited hours.
Yeah, if you have the time to make it a day trip, take the train and do that. I think that'd be cool. So go to that place for a rooftop drink. It's an appetizer and drink place. Go up there, enjoy that.
Yeah, don't count on a meal.
Yes, do not eat there. I mean, you just can't. There's no eating there. It's just snacks. Then we went to Luminaria. It was good.
Yeah, not a must hit.
Yeah, I could say try something else. Sorry to anybody from there watching this. Again, you're not going to watch it. And if you get to 40 minutes, sorry. Then sorry. It was just okay. I think also, again, set and setting matter so much. And there was a lady there talking so loud. I'm saying she's not going to watch this. And we don't know who she is. Barb, we'll call her Barb. Barb was loud, and it was just messing with the ambiance. We had our own little private booth. It was a beautiful setting. Actually, the restaurant was beautiful, but the
menu was kind of limited.
Yeah, the filet was like a pretty good filet. My filet's better personally, so that's it didn't wow me. The salad was like so weird we couldn't even enjoy it, and then the soup was like pretty good soup. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want a pretty good meal for $70, go there. If you want a good meal for another price,
there's a lot of highly
there's tons of options
New
there.
Mexican food. I would say go with one of those.
I agree. So, then we flew out the next day, and our intention was for these to be 10 to 15 minutes, and that was 40. So we're going to work on our trimming these up. But that is the story of Albuquerque. We'll also bullet point item these in a blog, so you can much more easily, without all the animation and laughter, get a quick hit on what a trip to Albuquerque should look like during the week of Balloon Fiesta sometime.
Yeah.
Still give it 4 stars.
Still 4 stars after
Definitely.
All that.
It was wonderful, and look forward to doing it again.
Yeah.
I think we'll repeat that one.
Yeah.
Like kids that are older and stuff.
Maybe when we're like 80.
Once our triplets and Bo are older.
All right. We need to wrap this up.
We're going off script here. Okay. Y'all have a great night. If it's nighttime when you're watching this, it is for us when we're making this. Obviously, you can tell by our delirium of getting a little ridiculous. Thank you for watching our video about Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we're the Griggsly Bears.
Bye.